Ultrakill is a fast-paced, ultra-violent, old-school first-person shooter developed by ROC Hakeda Patala and published by New Blood Interactive. You play as V1, a combat machine fueled by blood, who has ventured into the depths of hell after the extinction of humanity. Hell abounds with demons and tormented souls, sources of blood that you must rend apart in order to refuel yourself and survive. If that doesn't appeal to you, why bother? Ultrakill is one of the best first-person movement shooter games I have had the joy of playing in recent times. It has amazing movement, a great variety of weaponry, and an absolutely unhinged soundtrack. As of now, the game is still in early access, but offers a ton of content for its price. There are currently 25 levels in the game, divided into separate layers. Alongside that, it features a game mode in which you face an endless horde of enemies and try to reach the highest wave possible. Oh yeah, there's also a sandbox, which is pretty neat. At the end of each level, your performance during the level will be graded. It's sorta like Hotline Miami. The better, faster and more stylish you perform, the better your grade. This, of course, brings in a plethora of high score chasing, trying to beat the level as fast as possible whilst also getting the most amount of points. See, the thing is, there's this one bonus you can get named No Damage Taken. You've read the title already, haven't you? This is what we're here to do. Me, an average Ultrakill player, will try to beat the entire game hitless. If you want to see an actual pro perform this whilst also getting a perfect rank on all levels, I'll link a video by Herb Messiah where he does exactly that. He's fucking insane. I'm not, in terms of gameplay. Now then, we'll have to establish some rules first. First, dying is allowed. I would drive myself insane if I had to restart the entire playthrough if I got hit even once during a level, so being allowed to die is valid. At the end of each layer, we'll be tallying the amount of deaths during said layer, and we'll be adding all deaths up at the end of the video. Second, checkpoints are allowed. Can someone explain what just happened? In order to progress at a steady pace, checkpoints will need to be used. I'm not a pro at this game, I'm not gonna lie about that. So using checkpoints will be crucial. Third, no abusing bugs or glitches. In the spirit of a violent playthrough, we'll have to play normally. No glitching through walls, no backwards jump glitches, nothing of the sort. Those rules should be enough. If anything comes up during the playthrough, new ones will be added. As new weaponry shows up, I'll explain what they do in case there's anyone watching that has never heard of Ultrakill before. With all of that out of the way, it's finally time to get into the meat of this video. Before we truly can descend into hell, I have to give a shout out to our sponsor of this video, Wishstar. We have to do some maintenance first. Full volume, especially for the music, PC visuals, and the highest difficulty available, violent. We'll not be using these assist options the game is presenting us, but thank you for the offer, game. As you can see in the bottom left corner, the moment I press L on my keyboard, my HP gets put to 1, alongside disabling any healing. Shoutouts to the Ultrakill one-hit KO mod made by Days Gambler. While this intro is still happening, I have to quickly mention that there will be instances during the video where I will suddenly be able to heal or I'll spawn of 100 health. These instances happen because of my dumbassery. Every time said events happen, I'll add a death to the count to keep things fair. I'm watching this footage and I have no clue what I'm doing right now. So I'll do all of us a favor and explain all sorts of movement abilities we have. First up is dashing. You can use a dash to avoid all sorts of enemy attacks. You can dash up to a maximum of 3 times before your dash bar at the bottom left is fully empty. The bar starts recharging the moment you use a dash. This isn't a movement related thing, but I'll include it here anyways. Next up is parrying. By timing a melee strike right, you can parry any attack that features a yellow flash before it happens. Parrying is crucial to mastering Ultrakill. Sliding allows you to move fast at a reduced height, which often saves you from being damaged by attacks not reaching you while sliding. You can also spam it and experience a hand cramp. Glams are quite handy. By pressing the slide button whilst in the air, you immediately start slamming towards the ground. You can kill enemies by landing on their head. You can retain the height of your jump by simply slamming down towards the ground, immediately followed by a jump. This way you launch back into the air, where you will reach the same height before the slam occurred. While we're at it, you can also perform a ground slam, which costs a dash bar but allows you to throw enemies into the air. It is a very situational but useful tool to have. Bunny hopping can be used by jumping and sliding at the same time, continuously boosting your momentum. You'll see me doing this a lot during the playthrough. It's practically a core of my gameplay style. Dash jump can be performed by dashing and jumping at the same time, which gives you a huge momentum boost, but at the cost of 2 dash bars. This can be really handy to get out of sticky situations, or to just be really fast. You can combine this with bunny hopping, which keeps your momentum of your dash jump. Wall jumping is also a thing. It's self-explanatory. You can wall jump up to 3 times. You can also stick to walls and slowly slide down, in case you need to think for a second or aim. Actually, no, just aim. Aim and shoot. Kill before you think. A super jump can make you, as the name says, super jump. You can do this by slamming right beside a wall, immediately followed by a wall jump. You'll see falling particles around you. Trigger the super jump by now jumping once you're on the ground. That should cover everything related to movement, I hope. Now we can finally start the actual game. Let me do this really cheesy thing. Okay, here it is. Get ready. And he's... What a beautiful gun, is it not? Before I can even explain what it does, the game already throws a few films at us. And before you ask, yes, that is what they're referred to as in-game. A few shots will take care of them. They do not pose a major danger unless unspecialized. With them out of the way, give me just a few seconds to explain the starter pistol. The pistol is your ordinary starter weapon, except it never truly loses its value. Its damage output is as expected, able to deal with most things in a few shots. It features a charge shot, which has increased damage and penetration, needing to recharge once shot. The first level is pretty simple in terms of difficulty and enemy placement. Since it's been a while since I last played the game, I play more carefully during the beginning, just so I can properly warm up. Taking care of this room with glass panels is pretty easy. All you have to do is shoot whichever glass panel the films are standing on. It's even really stylish. This room is even more fun than the last, since it features even more glass panels with even more films. Do the same and shoot at the glass panels that are being stood upon. The game spices up the next room by making it a large room, featuring our first projectile-based enemies, which are named Strays. Moving around whilst shooting them is an easy way to dodge their shots and kill them. Hey, remember when I mentioned parrying? The game tries to teach us how to parry projectiles, which I disregard in favor of killing these strays as fast as possible. I tried to be really stylish by showcasing a parry, but I died. This marks the first death of many in this playthrough. The second attempt works well this time. I did feel a bit good, however, I die yet again, this time to a film. From now on, I'll cut out non-important deaths and maybe will showcase funny or extraordinary deaths. Shooting a glass panel above us and wall jumping up will spawn 3 strays and a few films once we approach the exit of this room. A few shots are enough to clear the room and move on. I almost die by nearly falling to my death in this bottomless pit of a room, but I somehow saved myself. I try to be cool yet again, but parry a film's projectile so close to it that the explosion caused by it kills. I play the room safe this time, afraid of their projectiles. What's upcoming is the final room of this level, and oh boy does it kick my ass. May I introduce you to a malicious phase. The malicious phase either fires a series of projectiles or charges up an exploding beam of death that can break your movement. Initially, I struggle at first because I'm too used to my schizophrenic way of playing. Move around a lot, aim and pray. This guy has caused a lot of deaths, but has also slowly taught me how to properly deal with him without getting utterly shattered. The main strategy was moving around the room while dashing in case I was afraid of an attack that was about to hit me. Once the malicious phase reaches 50% of its health bar, it becomes enraged. In this state they attack faster and fire a second beam of death after the first one. It is quite terrifying experiencing it for yourself, trust me. With the malicious phase finally gone, we are done with the first level of the Prelude. Getting a D rank is bad, but I can cope with it for the time being. 01 has caused a total amount of deaths. Next up is the meat grinder, where I miss my charge shot and fail a parry. Pretend as if you never saw that. This time I don't miss. I finished the other one off by a punch and shot. Similar to the previous levels, there's glass panels with a bunch of filths once more. Just shoot them to be extra stylish. We're thrown into a room full of filths and strays. We can just shoot each stray one by one while constantly evading the horde of filths, picking them out one by one. Before we go to the next room, we're gonna slam jump up to that small hole in the ceiling in order to get a blue skull. It'll be irrelevant later. Next room showcase a crusher by crushing 2 filths. And as if you knew it, the next room has a crusher in the middle. A bunch of filths and 2 strays are spawned. We'll do the same thing as before, but we'll also let some filths and a stray get crushed. Moving on, 2 strays are spawned in front of a hallway filled with crushers. And right there we cocked the first teaser of an upcoming mini-boss by shooting a stray. Here we see the second teaser of the mini-boss fighting off enemies while we too are fighting off strays. Except I die to a filth. I'm shortly distracted by my 1 HP mod not being activated, so I miss a few shots. I shoot a line of strays with a charge shot and finish the last one off for a stomp. That's fucking stylish. In the final room, featuring a crusher in the middle of it, the game once more spawns a lot of filths and strays at the back of the room. We just shoot them all. It's as simple as that. Meat Grinder wasn't much of a challenge, but that is expected from an early level. Including the screw-ups of mine with the 1 HP mod, Meat Grinder has caused a total amount of deaths. Before we start with the level, I will buy this beauty. everyone, this is the Marksman gun. The Marksman pistol replaced the charge shot with coins. You've heard me, you can throw 4 coins and shoot them, which makes your shot deflect into a nearby enemy. This is arguably the one gun that takes the most skill to master. You can also punch a thrown coin, making it deflect onto an enemy. You can either shoot a single coin or chain your coins. The more coins a shot hits, the more damage it deals. If you time a coin shot just right, a split shot will occur, in which the deflected projectile will hit 2 enemies instead of 1. I'll be using this gun a lot since it takes care of enemies really fast. With the gun that was just demonstrated, I'll clear out the entire room by aiming for split shots. The next room spawns 4 filths, which can easily be taken care of with a few shots, so I just shoot the rest. A new enemy, the Schism, is introduced. They shoot a barrage of either horizontal or vertical projectiles. 2 more are spawned. The first one dies by a coin and the second by a parry, caused by a coin, followed by a normal shot. Up next is a mini-boss, indicated by the boss door up ahead, the Swords Machine. This guy will constantly chase you and will try to strike you down with its melee strikes. However, as you can see, you can parry those and make him enraged. Keeping your distance while constantly dealing damage will do the trick. Not too hard of an encounter. The Swords Machine teleports out of the arena and leaves behind a very precious possession. This baby right here, the shotgun. It tells us to charge, but we'll do a shotgun punch instead. The shotgun, as expected, excels at close range combat. It features a core eject, you charge your shotgun and release an explosive projectile. You can also parry your own shotgun shots and make him explode on impact. This is very fucking cool. By blowing up the rock with a shotgun punch, we can go back out and go blow up another rock with a shotgun punch. We'll take care of the crowd of filths with a core eject and a few pistol shots. And a shotgun punch. The same goes for the strays. I fuck up the first coin throw, but salvage the second and miss the third. Though I hit the 4th and 5th. Normal shots take care of the damaged schisms. Just like in 01, we're thrown into a hallway of filths. For some reason the game throws a single stray at us. We shoot and punch him. In a hallway with fans at each end, a schism and 2 strays are spawned. Coins deal with them easily. For the filths, you guessed it, shotgun punches. Maybe I should make a counter for how many shotgun punches I use. Behind 2 crushers, 2 strays spawn. I miss my charge shot and resort to a shotgun punch. Proceeding, some filths are spawned behind my back. 1 charge shot for 1 filth, and for the rest a shotgun punch. Ascending the spiral further, I miss my first charge shot but make sure to properly aim before I fire my second one. The second filth gets a load of a shot and my fist. On to the final challenge of this level, Swords Machine with a revengeance. Without its shotgun that we stole, the Swords Machine will either use a spinning attack that covers quite some range or will throw its sword towards us. Both can be parried. I did the same as in the previous encounter. I move around a lot while trying to deal some damage. I do use coins but miss some of them. My main source of damage will be from shotgun punches, charge shots and normal pistol shots. I don't know if that's just me, but if you play this exact shotgun punch, you can see that I get damaged but healed at the same time. I should have died right there, but I didn't. I'll add a death just because of that. A charge shot and some pistol shots will take care of the Swords Machine. Rest in peace, Gmod Ragdoll. And with that, we're done with 03, which has killed me a total of 4 times. A one machine army starts us off by throwing us into a room full of strays and filths. We start by throwing coins into the air and missing half of them, followed by shooting 2 strays. I gather up the crowd of filths and shotgun punch into them, eliminating them and thus spawning a malicious face. Yeah, he's not a one-time boss, he's not a normal enemy that can appear and... Shit. Before we go into 04 again, may I show you the pump charge shotgun. The pump charge replaces the core eject with, as the name says, a pump charge. The more you charge, the more pellets you fire alongside increased strays. You can pump up to 2 times before you start over pumping. Shooting an over pump charge creates a massive explosion, damaging both enemies and yourself. You can dash out of an overcharged explosion, a very neat trick to deal massive damage. We start off by causing an overcharged pump explosion, just for style. A charged shot into the crowd of filths and a bunch more normal shots at the strays cause the malicious face to spawn once again. I can ignore the remaining filths and focus on the malicious face by constantly moving around. A charge shot, some shotgun bursts, and some more normal shots will take care of this guy. You can even see it kill some filths with one of its explosive beams, which is pretty convenient. Entering a hallway with spinning mechanisms, a stray gets spawned at the end of it alongside a crowd of filths. Oh yeah, you can die by touching those spinning things. A charge shot and a carefully executed shotgun punch will take care of everything very fast. 4 strays, 1 charge shot, and a bunch of normal shots. Do the math, we clear the room with that. The last room features a glass floor and spawns in some schisms and a bunch of filths. My other coins over get quite a few enemies, the rest is finished off with shotgun punches once more. Except for this filth. I just shoot him. In a last ditch effort, a crowd of filths charge at us. I constantly stay in the air and throw in a shotgun punch. As practice for later, I throw and shoot coins whilst doing that, getting some of them with split shots. The last two are finished off in a stylish way. My third attack, a shotgun punch. And with that, 04 has been cleared. It has caused me a total of deaths. We've reached the climax of the prelude, titled Cerberus. The game presents us a long lava pit with a way towards a parkour course, but we'll instead skip it entirely and leap across the lava pit. We enter the room and stand before a gate that reads, "Abandon hope all ye who enter here," being a translation of a famous verse from Dante's Divine Comedy. And if you didn't know, we're going to be fighting one of the statues as the final boss of the Slayer, a Cerberus. The Cerberus either throws an explosive orb, stomps against the ground to generate a shockwave, or charges towards V1. Without experience, this boss kicks ass, but as you learn its moves, it becomes easy to fight against on its own. I miss all of these coins. Holy shit, how? Once the Cerberus reaches 50% of its health, guess what? The second statue starts moving, which means we'll now be fighting two Cerberus at approximately the same health at the same time. Moving and dashing around a lot becomes even more important, as you'll have to constantly evade fast attacks from two Cerberus. The shotgun with its shotgun punches excels at taking care of both of them due to its AoE damage. You can even hear me spamming the dash button in slight panic as they're attacking. I was very trigger happy with the dash button, even though I shouldn't have been. Dealing out some pistol shots combined with shotgun punches takes care of both the first Cerberus and the now enraged second Cerberus. I nod in agreement to its death. I dash jump towards the elevator, where we finally depart from the prelude. The Cerberus have only killed me a total amount of time. That is amazing. With that, the prelude layer has caused a total amount of... Wait, we're missing a level. Let's backtrack a bit. Remember the skull we got in O2? Yeah, we're gonna backtrack, get that, and we'll then branch off to the left with the cross section. We place the skull on the blue pedestal, which opens up a section within the wall. We jump down into the abyss. And I'll count that one death. This level is a bit special. It is a secret level. We only have a pistol and... another blue skull, huh? Every time I hear that breathing, I get shivers. Something wicked this way comes. This is now a horror game. I immediately get scared by the sound and crawl up a wall, but before I can actually hit something wicked, I die. I don't understand how Hakit has managed to make a scary level within this FPS game. It's insane. Anyway, we find a blue pedestal, place the skull on top of it, and we now have a red skull. I can't see anything with this red light. I just start sliding once I hear something wicked approaching. I charge my shot and fire it. Thankfully it hits. I find the red pedestal, put the skull on it, which opens the exit. We have escaped something wicked. There's a bit of lore here. Feel free to pause the video. By leaving, we are fully done with the prelude. Something wicked has killed me a total of 4 times. Adding up all deaths from each level, the prelude has caused me a total of 55 deaths. That is very impressive, considering what comes next. Isn't the Limbo beautiful? It's such a stark contrast compared to the prelude. A nice relaxing scenery, the fortress-like aesthetic, and the clear morning sky. We grab the red skull on the pedestal and make our way back towards the other path. We place it down onto another pedestal. We parkour up and enter this beautiful scenery, which is ruined by drones. Drones fly in the air and try to dodge some of your shots while also firing some. Once they die, they launch themselves towards you and explode. I even died to the one exploding behind me. Some coin shots will take care of these drones, since their HP is relatively low. They are taken out with one coin. More drones spawn up ahead, which I kill once by using a charged shot. With some skis and more drones, I successfully hit my core. Jesus Christ. I resort to shotgun punches after that embarrassment and shoot the rest with a charged shot and some normal shots. Jesus, my aim is disgusting. Anyway, will you look at this beauty? I'll explain what it does after this I'll explain it now. The Nailgun is a very powerful close-range gun, able to dash out a ton of projectiles which deal quite a lot of damage. It features 100 nails and 3 magnets, both have to recharge over time. You can attach a magnet to the ground or an enemy. It'll attract all fired nails towards it, making them orbit around it. Once enough time passes or there's too many nails, the magnet will explode and a burst of nails will come flying towards anyone unfortunate enough to stand in its way. We have a nice little demonstration of the Nailgun, drilling into the malicious face of every single nail. I miss my charged shot and resort back to shotgun punches. At least I don't miss that charge shot. An even better demonstration of the nail gun. In a hallway full of enemies, we slide back and unload every single nail to the ground. The rest stuck from a coin shot to the head. We grab the blue skull and head back towards where we came from earlier, where 2 drones await us. Back at the starting area, 3 strays and even more filths charge us. You know, as I'm writing the script, the more I write the word filth or stray, the more unnatural it feels to write or say. Thank God I had one of those coins. The rest of them are taken out by stomps. Never mind, I'm wrong. What am I doing? I'm just dashing around and shooting, missing my slams. Jesus. There's the shotgun punches. We mow down these 4 strays with the nail gun, as easy as that, and proceed to place down the blue skull into the blue pedestal. This area is rough. There's 4 strays on each side and a bunch of drones swarming towards us. The nail gun and coins help a bit, but I somehow move into the next area by pure accident and, due to my panicky movement, I get hit by a stray. I start with a charge shot, followed by emptying the nail gun into as many enemies as possible. Another charge shot, and the cherry on top of this is the coin shot into the stray's projectile. This final area is even worse. A smaller room filled with strays and skeezums. I hit all of my 4 coins, which takes out some of them, followed by half a nail gun mag. Shotgun punches take out a skeezum and a filth. One of them dies by normal shots. The first drone that spawns gets hit by a charge shot, then another charge shot, and the last 3 die by a really cool collateral explosion. Before we leave, we'll leave through the roof and we'll activate a mysterious button for later. The first level of Limbo has been fine. It has caused a total amount of deaths. Wait, I have to show off a new weapon. The Overheat Nailgun. The Overheat Nailgun builds up heat as you shoot. At max heat, it'll significantly slow down the amount of nails fired, but can unleash a barrage of nails by using up a charge. This empties the heat meter. 1-2 looks similar to 1-1. The first area is loaded with various strays and filths. I constantly move around a lot and swap my choice of weapon here and there. Staying airborne was important for me here. I only now realized that I had full HP and set it to 1. This will count as a death. To make up for it, I'll now use the Overheat variant and will show off its prowess. With the tower strays gone, we go back towards the ground and miss the first shotgun punch, though the second one clears the horde of filths. The rest are finished off with the Marksman. The game pulls a funny little joke, ignore the blue skull, and spawns a bunch of filths in a small hallway. I place down a magnet and unload my nails, clearing both these filths and amassing missed nails into a trap. Next up are drones and skeezums, which I try to mow down with the Overheat variant of the nail gun. Both charges unloaded, I notice my HP being above 1 and fix it. Another death to the counter. The remaining skeezums succumb to my pistol shots. The next room is swarmed with filths, strays and drones. I miss a few pistol shots, some shotgun punches, and the game decided that I've performed so badly that it threw me out of bounds. I seriously have no clue how exactly I broke this area of the level. By opening the door behind me, I somehow unload the area up ahead and... Look, I'm as confused as you are. Due to this violating rule 3, I'll restart the level entirely. The deaths so far will be added up, obviously. Now you get to see how you can acquire the blue skull, which spawns the horde of enemies. I hit a coin shot, constantly panic dash and clear out the rest of the room with my nail gun and my pistol. For a reason unknown, for now, the hallway is on flames. And not just the hallway. It's a boy. These street cleaners are responsible for this. They attack by menacingly approaching you and attempt to burn you to a crisp. Their main weakness is coins. We place down the blue skull and pick up the red one from up ahead, where we are ambushed by 3 more street cleaners. I try to build a trap of nails, which doesn't do that much, so I resort to shotgun punches, which makes one of them launch towards me. I almost kill myself with a shotgun punch, so I just use a coin shot. I go back in, hit a coin shot and kill a street cleaner above me? How exactly did it get up there? We now find ourselves within the final room of this level, a small area with multiple platforms. I miss my charge shot and desperately slide away to dodge their flames until I land a coin shot behind them, killing both them instantly. More spawn, so I do the same and hit a sick as fuck split shot. The first drone dies by a coin shot, the second one to... Hold on. I just shoot it to... Oh, come on. I shoot it and make it almost kill me. I nearly exploded there. By jumping up, I trigger some strays to spawn, which I take out with 2 out of 4 successful coin shots. The rest of them die by a shotgun punch. 1 for each of them. This concludes Limbo's second level, which has only cost me additional deaths. Here we are at my second favorite level, 1-3. We have the option of only going through one route, but we'll do both just because. Not so smooth cut, we fire a charge shot at the left schism, take out the undertail street burner with a coin shot and the other schism with a few shots and a punch. I almost died to these filths, but walk backwards and eliminate the drone. For this crowd of filths, I, of course, use a shotgun punch. A group of strays and schisms block the way. The first two are killed off with a charged shot, while the rest goes flying due to shotgun punches. I've never seen this happen. The last two die by 2 coins soaring through the air. A malicious face spawns, I fire a magnet into it and unload my nail gun. It almost kills me with an explosive beam, but it succumbs to my nails. Up ahead are more drones and strays. The charged shot takes care of the middle drone. I don't know why, but I eliminate the rest of the room with normal shots, instead of going for cool coin shots. We now possess the skull and have to make our way back. The game presents a gift to me in the form of a crowd of filths and strays, which I gladly explode with shotgun punches. Some more strays and a schism, for which I this time use the Marksman. The last coin hits bullseye and explodes the last stray's projectile. I launch those 2 schisms into the air with a shotgun punch, which makes one of them fall into the pit. 2 more shotgun punches take care of the rest. With another not so smooth count, we enter a hallway full of filths, which fly through the air due to my shotgun punches. A Cerberus from where we came from hurls an orb at us, which we erase. We parkour around it and unload both our normal and overheat nail guns, which are enough to take it out. Before both street cleaners, we take out both them with a well-timed coin split shot. I play it safe and use my remaining coins to take out the drones. As you can see, I suddenly play it carefully. This is due to a malicious face being right there, waiting to ambush me. A magnet followed by a bunch of nails does the job and takes it out. We're now back at the start, placed on the skull and move towards the red path. The red path is significantly harder. This is demonstrated by the game spawning a ton of strays all around us. We start with a charge shot and make our way around the arena as we take on each stray one by one. Oh yeah, there's also 2 street cleaners chasing us. We'll kill those in a second. Now we'll kill those with coins, since the schisms present as well. With both gone, a bunch of drones spawn. I used both my last coins to hit some of them, after which I swapped my nail gun, in order to mow down the crowd of schisms. And guess what? More shotgun punches for these 2 remaining enemies. With them gone, the Cerberus animates to life and hurls an orb at us, but horribly misses. A magnet followed by nails deals enough damage so I can finish off the Cerberus with 2 chain coins. As a cruel joke, there's no lava pit blowers. We started with 5 coin shots, each of them hitting the intended target. A Philip street cleaner emerges alongside a few schisms. A coin shot, some normal shots and the nail gun easily dispose of them, though this makes some drones spawn. A charged shot and a well-placed shot leading to friendly fire easily takes care of them. With a malicious face present, a magnet combined with a barrage of nails easily takes care of it. But there's another one. It receives 2 magnets, one of them misses. I unload the rest of my nail gun and the overheat nail gun into it. God, I love the nail gun. One more not so smooth count, we are surrounded by drones and strays. A coin split shot makes both drones crash to each other. The crowd of filths is blown up with shotgun punches. I almost died to a street cleaner but panic jump up and do some coin shots, killing both of them. Even more strays and a malicious face spawn. Not even a full nail gun clip and a malicious face is already dead. Instead of using my coins, I preserve them and use my normal shots to clear this wave. We'll need them for what's up ahead. Never mind, I actually waste them on this horde of strays. Some coin shots and a shotgun punch to the job. I won't pick up the red skulls due to these emerging pit street cleaners. This is what I needed the coins for. And it's not just that, there's also Cerberus. A magnet and 2 clips of nails make it crumble. The last street cleaner dies to a coin shot. Now we pick up the red skull and make our way back through this hole. We now have both skulls placed, but before we go through that entrance, we backtrack just a bit. We once again escape the confines of this layer and pick up soap. Soap will give me a confidence boost alongside other things. Now we head through the secret entrance where a challenge awaits us. Preparing a charge shot, we hit a checkpoint and encounter Tundra and Agony. We Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, the soap one-shots anything it touches. It's just 2 sword machines, but I took out one of them instantly with soap. Tundra gets to experience the agony of being filled with nails, shotgun punches, coins. The nail gun once again, and to top it all off, shotgun punches. This reveals another button, which we press for a thing that will lead for a thing later. Now it's time to progress towards the end of the level, where a challenge awaits us. The hideous mass emerges from the ground, which we... you guessed it. One shot with a useless charge shot in the soap. This amazing level was very fun to no-hit. It has caused me a total amount of deaths. How exactly do you conclude the limbo layer in a neat yet elegant way after such strong levels? May I introduce you to 1-4, CLAIR the LUNE. We'll take a short detour to the left for something that'll help me victim along the way. Wait, Oh fuck, I forgot a button. Hold on, just... Oh look, cancerous rodent. Oh look, very cancerous rodent. There's not much to say about the secret mini-boss, it's a very cancerous rodent. Like I said, we'll take a short detour. With all 4 buttons pressed, we are rewarded with one of my favorite weapons from this game. The alternate revolver, a huge powerhouse. The alternate revolver, known as the Slab revolver, features a slower fire rate, but compensates for it by making the base shot much more powerful compared to the base pistol. Each shot also has pierce on it, able to kill 2 targets at once. That, of course, also applies to the charge shot. The charge and cooldown time remains the same. You can change out the Marksman to also bolster the alternate feature. Instead of a shot coin being able to ricochet to 2 enemies, it instead features additional piercing. That is a very huge trade-off. The level locks a gate ahead and requires us to locate and place 3 skulls onto pedestals. The first one can be found in the dining hall, by smashing against the loose floorboards covering a skull's hiding spot. This isn't needed, but you can acquire a friend by placing a skull onto the skeleton at the top of the first floor. We name him Hank, and we'll take the skull back. What the fuck? The second skull is located behind a mosaic window, featuring an angel. The third and last skull can be accessed by smashing through the window, located near the Slab revolver's location. This is a much needed home invasion. May I introduce you to the first real challenge of this run, V2. Saying that V2 is a challenge is an understatement. The game wants to see if you have truly mastered the game's mechanics up until this point, whether it be parrying, movement or aiming. You have to be good at all 3 of those now. V2 has a few unique attacks, which you can parry some. The first is a burst shot with 3 pistol shots, which you can parry. The second is a shotgun shot, which you can also parry. The third is a core eject from the shotgun, dealing AoE damage due to its explosiveness. The fourth is a charge shot of his pistol, which you can also parry. The order of all of these attacks is random. Spoilers ahead, I do not parry any of his attacks. My timing is too off for that. That's not the only thing that makes V2 unique. Rather, what makes him way harder is this AI. Do you understand how shocked and amazed I was the first time I fought against him? He moves just like a player would. He fights just like a player would. Hell, he even gets pissed off just like a player would. He can even predict your movement and shoot right next to you. He can even juke you. How the fuck is that possible? If he constantly runs from V2, he will feature red wings and will constantly try to close the distance between you two. If he constantly chases V2 or too close to him for a while, he will have green wings and will try to build as much distance between the two of you as possible. If the distance you hold between yourself and him is constantly mixed up, he will have either yellow or blue wings, which indicates that he will try to keep some distance. Combine everything I've just mentioned and you have a very, very fun boss to fight. You don't feel like you got cheated out on. You don't feel like you are at a disadvantage. You feel amazed, you don't feel bad. You understand that your deaths are due to your own mistakes. You have to get better at the game. You have to become better than V2. I started each encounter by attaching a magnet to V2, followed by emptying both my Nailgun and my Overheat Nailgun. This usually took care of a third of his health bar, a huge advantage needed compared to my weak and frail 1 HP. Next was utilizing coins, throwing 2 into the air at a time and making sure I shot them fast enough with the Slab Marksman. I used the shotgun parry technique in case I wasn't too sure of my aim at the moment, taking advantage of the explosive shot in order to hit V2 while it's not being super accurate. The explosive shotgun shots always take a stamp out of his HP. All I had to do now was aim and move around, recognize his attacks and dodge them. Getting panicked, I took out the Slab Marksman and hit twice 2 coins, and at long last, finishing V2 off with what started this encounter, the Nailgun. As a finishing blow to V2's ego, we take his arm, the Knuckleblaster. The Knuckleblaster is an alternate to your melee attack. Instead of just a punch, the Knuckleblaster's melee attack is both a punch and, if the melee button is held down, an explosion, either blasting enemies to bits or throwing them away from you. A huge downside of the Knuckleblaster is that it can't parry. However, it can instead launch away incoming projectiles with its explosions, which often kills the original enemy that shot it. We've bested this major challenge. V2 has caused us deaths. That's not a small number. He was a very worthy opponent. After all of that madness, we have one more level left in Limbo, the secret level. Remember this area? By tossing a coin into the fountain, it starts rumbling and moves to the side, revealing a hole in the ground. We jump down into it. I'll keep it short, this is a puzzle level. I'll do us all a favor and speed it all up with the timer at the bottom right. For each minute that has passed, I'll add 1 death to the counter. "10 minutes? Okay, yeah, alright. That's 10 deaths added to the counter. Now, with the limbo layer concluded, we have amassed a total amount of deaths. Combined with the prelude deaths, we are now sitting at a total whopping deaths. Jesus. We now find ourselves within the second layer, Lust. Instead of proceeding horizontally, we'll be climbing up this tower. A charged slap shot takes care of the schism, the 2 strays die by nails. These 2 drones die by slap shots. For the small platform housing 3 strays, I use a well-placed shotgun punch, killing one and making the other 2 fall into the bottomless pit. And on this final platform with 4 schisms on it, I use shotgun punches to either explode them or knock them off the platform, making them fall to their deaths. A slap shot takes out the last one. In a vast open area, we'll have to be careful to not fall down. I missed my first shotgun punch, but hit the second one, killing 2 strays. The other 2 are killed with slap shots. I somehow hit a weak spot of a street cleaner and kill one of them while the other gets launched away. That was neat. For these drones, I missed my first coin, but hit the rest of them, taking care of all of them in some schisms. I used the Nailgun and the Slab Revolver as a fancy way to take care of the remaining crowd, combined with a punch of the last one. Before I can appropriately react to the Cerberus up ahead, the ground beneath me breaks and a bunch of enemies spawn. I climb out and start never mind. The Cerberus chose to commit suicide. I jump back down and fire a charge shot into a mass, followed up with a few shotgun punches. The last few remaining died to some really cool coin shots. The game teaches us how to dash jump here. Thank you, game. I hit a drone with a normal shot, then a slap shot, causing both of them to explode. Both those strays up there died to slap shots as well. I fucking love this gun. Ascending upwards, I almost get ambushed and killed by filths, though thankfully jump and land a well-placed shotgun punch. This singular stray gets a taste of a shotgun without punch. With 2 drones and 2 schisms once more, all 4 of them are killed with some slap shots, except for one of them. I accidentally bounce up and trigger some more enemies to spawn, so I head back down to finish the job. I somehow land this really sick charge shot, which makes the street cleaner explode, either killing or pushing off other enemies. Our final challenge are 2 drones in a malicious phase. Both drones die to slap shots, and for the malicious phase, I used the Nailgun to finish it off very fast. With 1 more dash jump towards the elevator of the level, we are done. 2-1 has killed me a total of 8 times, which is a low number. We find ourselves within a new level environment and are greeted by a new enemy type, the soldier. There's not much to say about soldiers. They shoot more projectiles and have a melee attack, but they're otherwise not much more dangerous than strays or schisms. In order to progress, we have to locate 3 generators and break them to open a gate. The first one is in a house, which spawns more soldiers and a Cerberus by destroying it. I dispatch the soldiers with a revolver in risky close quarters encounters, then load the Cerberus with nailgun bullets. The second generator is in an elevated area. I shoot from afar, spawning more soldiers in a malicious phase. The soldiers are lured to the jump pad, rendering them completely helpless and vulnerable to my revolver as they bounce for the remainder of their short lives. The nailgun quickly eliminates the malicious phase. The final generator is in a corner of the map. Once shot, it spawns 1 last batch of enemies. After killing the first soldier with a coin shot, the second soldier and the street cleaners are all grouped up together, which I then kill by countering the street cleaners' weak spots. With all generators broken, we move through the now open gate. At the checkpoint, we are greeted by a giant glass pillar with a spiral staircase, guarded by a malicious phase. After I missed coin shot, I unload my nailgun into it, fully dealing with it. We begin climbing the staircase, until several drones and street cleaners suddenly spawn. I miss my first coin shot but land the second, instantly killing a few of the enemies. I fall down the stairs and only barely avoid getting minced into bits by the metal fan. The Marksman deals with the remaining street cleaners. In the next room, 2 soldiers spawn. A charge revolver shot and a nailgun are enough. I completely ignore the game's advice and kill the 3 soldiers in the next segment, only using my revolver. At the end of the hallway, a cluster of Phillips spawn, which I immediately shotgun punched. The street cleaners experience a charge shot and a coin shot into the weak spots. How painful. What lies ahead is, oh boy, this beast. The Railcannon. The Railcannon is an absolute powerhouse, able to demolish and penetrate multiple enemies with 1 shot. Once fired, however, it has to recharge over a long period of time, which happens while both held and holstered. The final area of the level is another city section. We clear the first batch of projectile enemies with shotgun punches without any issues. Once again, we have to find 3 generators to open the exit and beat the level. I break the first one right above the entrance and use the revolver to kill the drones that spawn. As I look for the second one, 3 soldiers spawn, but I take care of them with more shotgun punches. Before breaking the generator, I jump around trying to trigger the next enemy to spawn. After an embarrassing long time, the malicious face appears and I destroy it with my nail gun. We shoot the second generator and descend into the bottom of the map. At the end of a small tunnel is the last generator, which I shoot from afar to guarantee a safe escape from the Cerberus and malicious face that just spawned. I opt to deal with the malicious face first, clearing it without any problems. I also shoot a soldier that suddenly appeared behind it. Weird. Now that the Railcannon has finally recharged, I use it against the Cerberus, dealing tremendous damage and finish it off with the Overheat variant. With that, level 2 of Blast is complete. Unfortunately, I forgot to trigger an enemy spawn in one of the houses in the final area and only got a B in kills. You know what? Let's make this a rule. If I don't get an S in kills on a level, I'll count it as 10 deaths, meaning I died a total of 5 times in this level. We purchased the malicious variant of the Railcannon. So much testosterone in one gun. Compared to the normal Railcannon, the malicious Railcannon fires an explosive shot, dealing massive AoE damage instead of a single concentrated laser. The recharge time remains the same and applies to all variants of the Railcannon once a shot has been fired. We enter the main area of the level, with a heart-shaped water pit. The first time we enter, we are surrounded by multiple strays and soldiers. I kill the first enemy up close with my revolver and promptly reset the heal up I got from his blood. So I resorted to a trusty revolver again to clear the area. Entering the only door currently open, we walk across a tunnel right below the mysterious Titan and enter a waterfall-like room. I clear the horde of filths that immediately spawns from my newly acquired malicious Railcannon. A well-placed magnet and nailgun spam are enough to kill the malicious face that spawns right after. And the soldier and schism are easily cleared with the revolver. Wait, never mind, I keep missing my shots. Jesus Christ, my aim is abysmal. That's better. I reset my health and blow up the street cleaners and the drones with some sick coin shots. A door opens and we grab the blue skull. Instead of looking for the exit like a normal person, I blow up this wall with a shotgun punch to reveal the pedestal. But just to get all kills on the level, I dive underwater to spawn a cluster of strays and filth. Somehow one of the strays manages to snipe me through the wall and I die. In my gamer rage, I approach the pool again and shotgun punch the entire horde to death. I kill the last soldier with the nailgun, swimming right into the blood cloud that's formed and forgetting to reset my health to 1. We go back to the intended direction and climb a small platform, leading to a large area of crushers. I kill the street cleaner right in front of me and only now remember to reset my health. I land a cool split shot that instantly kills the other street cleaners and the filth, then a second one which obliterates a soldier. Another coin shot, sure, he didn't die from that. The room immediately fills up with drones and soldiers again. I run through the projectiles to get to a vantage point, while missing 2 of my shots. One of the drones kills its own kind and accent, and I destroy another drone with the revolver. I resort to shotgun punches. 2 of the soldiers run right below the crushers and die like morons, while I finish off the last one with the revolver. With the area completed, we go into the next room and grab the red skull. Backtracking through the level and walking to the starting room for the last time, our progress is suddenly halted by a challenging brand new enemy, the Mind Flayer. The Mind Flayer isn't too complex. It teleports constantly, shoots blue projectiles that home towards you, tries to attack with melee and sometimes fire an unparryable laser. After taking enough damage, it becomes unreached, attacking more frequently and teleporting at quicker intervals. We watch the Mind Flayer self-destruct. After basking in the satisfaction, we enter the last doorway and place the skull on the pedestal. In this final area, we are immediately surrounded by a variety of enemies, including another Mind Flayer, which I prioritize. I employ the same strategy: revolver, Railcannon, followed by unloading the Overheat. After another barrage of projectiles and one final attempt at striking, the Mind Flayer dies with a revolver shot, spawning a few drones in the room. The soldiers have been missing just barely, thanks to me moving all the time. And with that, we are done with 2-3, which we will have to revisit in the future. It has cost me a total of 15 deaths. Just like in 2-1, we start off in silence, in peace. We find ourselves inside of a train station aboard a cart. We are greeted with the title of this level, Court of the Corpse King. We've reached the climax of Lust. We've got some time to enjoy this ambience, this empty hall. You know, while I'm grabbing a skull, this whole layer used to be an entire kingdom, ruled by King Minos. It wasn't as chaotic or as much of a gore fest as when it once was, but a simple home for most hellish creatures. That is, until King Minos met his demise. With the skull on the pedestal, the gate blocking us gets unlocked and we can resume our travel on cart. It's really something. A game as energetic and hype as this having such an enjoyable, calm moment. Unfortunately, it doesn't last long. The lights go out ahead of us and what emerges from the depths of the darkness is an enormous hand. That's our first enemy of this level. The giant hand isn't too hard. All you have to do is continuously shoot it whilst evading its attacks. It can create a shockwave by slamming against the ground or either the left or right wall. Evade all of those, deal damage, and you'll be fine. With the unsettled ground, the hand falls back to the darkness and the lights are back on. We continue our journey on cart. We hop off for a short moment, grab a red skull and go back on track. Get it? Back on track? I'll just stop and move on. We stop at a train station, put the skull in the pedestal. Everyone, the corpse of King Midas, former ruler of the Lust Layer. This boss is amazing. You fight a gigantic enemy as it tries to brutally turn you into a pile of scrap. The Ultrakill wiki describes this boss perfectly. It is a test of your situational awareness. His attacks are simple. He throws a hand against your current location. He slams against the ground with his hand and creates a shockwave or creates a void orb, which instantly kills you if you touch it at 1 HP. For all of you out there that haven't seen this boss before, get a load of this. You can literally parry his punch. It recoils into his face and deals a good amount of damage. How can you not love this boss? This is literally a pure injection of testosterone into your veins. Once he reaches half health, skeletal serpents will burst out of the corpse's eyes. Both of them shoot individual projectiles. They either shoot homing orbs or hell orbs, both of which can be identified by their color. There isn't much to say about the strategy against King Midas. Just evade his attacks and constantly use any gun, since they all hit due to his enormous size. My preferred weapon was the Nailgun and its Overheat variation. To finish in pure style, I parry my shotgun shot and watch as he falls to the ground. With that, the corpse of King Midas has been defeated, which opens up an elevator entrance within his throat. Huh. The corpse of King Midas has killed a total of 24 times. And just like the previous layers, Lust also is a secret level, which is... yeah. We'll be backtracking towards 2-3. Maybe you've already seen it, there are 3 generators strewn across the entire level. We have to break all of them in order to access the secret level. With that, the water has been drained, which reveals a passage behind the Nailgun waterfall. Those 9 deaths will be added to the count as well, though for now, let's see what 2S has to offer. Heavy steps, ragged breathing. There isn't much time left. It might already be too late. Look, I'll be honest. I'll skip this part, though I recommend you to pause the video to read it or to get to the secret level for yourself. I'll show you one more thing. 2S is a visual novel, and before you stamp it off as just that, it is not just a visual novel, it is quite deep. I won't cover it entirely here. I instead recommend anyone that struggles with realistic views to play or watch this part of the secret level for themselves. It has helped me quite a bit, and maybe it'll help you as well. With that, we have now fully cleared the Lust layer. Adding up all deaths from Lust, we now sit at 75 deaths. Add that up with the previous 2 layers and we have a whopping 284 deaths. We are halfway through the game now. Huh. The Gluttony layer is incredible, bittersweet and very atmospheric. We'll be crawling our way through the innards. Before I enter the following hallway, I prepare a charge shot. I jump, unleash my charge shot into... I fire a Railcannon shot into the malicious face. Come on! A Railcannon shot and some nails are enough to finish off this malicious face. This room has acid as a hazard. I ready a charge shot and fire it into the mind flayer. The nailgun should... This is gonna take a bit, huh? A Railcannon shot followed by a few shotgun punches is enough to enrage the mind flayer. The rest of its HPs will be blown away with Nailgun. I even parry and heal, which counts as additional death. One tasty shotgun punch deals the finishing blow. The remaining strays are taken care of with a few shotgun punches as well. Up next are 2 street cleaners and a Cerberus. Before I properly start killing, I make sure to evade the Cerberus' initial orb throw. I miss my Railcannon shot by a tiny bit and proceed with the Nailgun. With it still alive, I back off just in case and proceed to go with shotgun punches and 2 slap shots. Both street cleaners died due to the acid, very convenient. We descend further down into King Midas and find ourselves in a room with 3 Cerberus statues. As 2 Cerberus start moving, I charge my charge shot and unleash it into the right one. Shotgun punches are amazing here for dealing massive single target damage and some amount of damage to the other Cerberus. With the first one dead, the second one becomes enraged and the third Cerberus starts moving. I hope to kill it before the third one is fully active, but my coins aren't fast enough. Due to the second one dying, the third one is enraged as well. I unleash a whole Nailgun into it, followed by 2 Overheat nail clips, which finish it off thankfully. This section is amazing with the new music now. Sadly, I get ambushed by street cleaners. I slide into filths and dash out of them, after which I swap the Railcannon and the Slab Revolver. Another death for the accidental heal. Let's just take a short detour. I have to show you something. The red lighting flickers on, a new door reveals itself, and... do you remember the scoring system? How you can get a P rank for not dying once during a level and getting free S? Well, we'll get there later, alright? Back on track, 4 strays are up next. One gets a taste of a charge shot, 2 of them receive a malicious railcan, and the last one a slap shot. For the group that spawns on the bridge, I use a shotgun punch to kill 3 out of 5. A shotgun punch for the left, another one for the crowd of filths, and a fat slap shot for the last stray. 3 drones spawn, 1 charge shot and 2 shotgun punches are enough. A charge shot deals with the first street cleaner. 3 coins deal with the second one, and the third receives a coin and a railcan shot. Yikes. Oh wait, there's one left. He gets a shotgun punch, launches into the air and falls into the void. Beautiful. The last segment of this area features 6 soldiers. All 6 of them died to 2 shotgun punches. That's very cool, goddamn. This big room is the hardest one from this entire level. A bunch of soldiers, drones and street cleaners spawn. My strategy here is to move around a lot while taking care of first the soldiers, then the drones and at last the street cleaners. This is one instance where I used the Knuckleblaster constantly to repel any projectiles that could have potentially hit me. For the street cleaners, I opted to use coins. The last one almost kills me, but I finish it off. Never mind, this is the last one. I somehow shoot its weak spot. 3 malicious faces spawn all over the arena. The first one receives a Railcannon shot. The Nailgun is enough to finish it off. The second one receives the rest of my nails and its Overheat nails as well, which is somehow enough to kill it as well. The last one receives a few nails, a Railcannon shot and some more nails. This room was really tough. Ascending further, we parkour and eliminate any enemies that spawn. Not too hard. I tried to parry but forgot that I still had the Knuckleblaster. I decided to just shoot them with the Slab Revolver. The last room features a wave of filths and drones. All of these filths die by a well-placed shotgun punch. For the drones, I use the Slab Revolver so I can focus on dodging any suicide bombers or stray projectiles. Up next are these 4 strays, which I take care of with a... oh, there's also a Mind Flayer. I immediately shift my attention towards it. Missing a few shots, I swap to the Nailgun for a bit of damage and quick swap to the Railcan and back to the Nailgun. All these nails, yet it still clings onto life. A slap shot puts the final nail in its coffin. Another slap shot and a few coins, one of them hitting a charging projectile, kill off these 2 skeezers. To finish with some style, the last kill is made with a coin shot. 3-1 is a long yet amazing level. I absolutely love its design and especially its music. It was a ton of fun to no-hit. 3-1 has killed me a total amount of 37 times. I'm still recovering from the greatness that is 3-1 as a whole level. Instead of climbing this well of flesh, we'll be using a super jump to save some time. I know we aren't speedrunning, but it's still a really cool thing to do nonetheless.
Machine, turn back now. The layers of this palace are not for your kind. Turn back, or you will be crossing the will of God.
Yeah, no, we don't heed his advice. It's dumb.
Your choice is made. As the righteous hand of the Father, I shall rend you apart, and you will become inanimate once more. Behold, the power of an angel!
Oh boy, this guy, Gabriel, Judge of Hell. Compared to V2 or the Corpse of King Minos, Gabriel tests your movement, your reflexes and your reaction time. There's nothing you can parry except for a sword and other projectiles if you froze it. The parry window is incredibly tight. If this battle relies on movement, this should be my field of specialty, yet this angel still gave me troubles. Gabriel, according to the wiki, has the most amount of attacks and combos he can perform out of any boss in the game, which is insane. There's another thing that makes Gabriel difficult. Every time you die, every time you enter the arena, you are greeted by a taunt. It wasn't a major problem, but God did it feel my desire to smash this guy into pieces. The 2 most important and recognizable attacks for me that I had to learn how to recognize and properly time my dodges for were the 2 aerial plunges, followed by him throwing his sword. The second one was a 2-hit combo that ended with him throwing his sword at my position, which caused an explosion of impact. Once you knock his health down, he enters his second phase, surrounded by a circle of swords. And he's enraged too, just to add a bit of salt to the wound. During the second phase, the Gabriel attacks a lot faster and more violently. The breaks in between each attack is a lot shorter, the game doesn't leave you any room to breathe. This phase has screwed me over a lot. It has fucked with me more than I'd like to admit. It was difficult to adapt to. The fight was started by shooting a Railcannon shot into Gabriel, followed up by emptying my Nailgun in its Overheat variant. Punching my shotgun shots was the next most reliable source of damage, if I could hit said shots. As he's flung into the air, I make sure to hit him with another Railcan shot, followed by 4 coins shot. The rest of the fight had to be carried by the Nailgun and the Overheat variant. I get more panicked and move around a lot more, but still try to kill Gabriel as fast as possible. With a Slab Revolver shot and the 3rd Railcan shot, I finally best Gabriel. Good fucking god.
How can this be? This thing? You insignificant fuck! This is not over!
A fitting conclusion to the Gluttony layer. Gabriel has killed me a total of
149
times. Jesus fucking Christ. With that, the entire Gluttony layer has caused me
186
deaths. And if you add the last deaths, the Limbo deaths, and the Prelude deaths, we now have
470
deaths. We purchased the final weapon variant for now, the Screwdriver Railcannon. The Screwdriver shoots a drill that will get attached to an enemy and will constantly deal damage over time until it breaks after a certain amount of time has passed. The recharge time remains the same and applies to all variants of the Railcannon. The first horde of enemies get a taste of the malicious Railcannon. The rest of the filths receive the Marksman. When the batch of enemies spawn, the line of filths in front of the door are obliterated by the charged revolver. I then back up to increase my distance as I headshot the soldiers and strays with no issues. The last 2 strays died to the shotgun. Inside the building, we are greeted by a brand new enemy type, the Virtue. Never mind, it's already dead. 2 more Virtues spawn alongside a horde of filth. The Virtue is an angel enemy which tracks your movement and summons holy beams of light to smite you. As such, I prioritize them, racking up damage with the Nailgun while staying on the move to avoid the light beams. I then switch to the Overheat variant to finish the Virtues off. I dispatch the Great Unwash with a shotgun punch and exit the building. This even survives these revolver shots longer than expected and nearly gets me hit by another Virtue's beam. Focusing on the soldiers, on the other hand, forces me to dash off the platform at the last minute to dodge a Virtue again. I dive straight down and strategically get teleported back onto the platform as fast as possible. I take care of the soldier and Railcannon the enraged Virtue before it can be a problem. 2 Virtues spawn in this narrow corridor. The first one quickly dies to the Revolver and Nailgun. I barely dodged the second one's beam and overheated to death. I approach this next room by prioritizing the drones that spawn, instantly killing them with the Revolver. Constantly moving back and forth across the platform to dodge the enemy fire is important. Sorry for this pressing movement. We then bait the soldiers into jumping down and blow them up with a shotgun punch. I dispatched these schisms without any issues. How the hell did I dodge that barrage and finish off the last drone? Immediately after this, I walk to the bottom of the room where Virtue has just spawned and eliminate it before it can cause problems. These strays aren't worth anything more than a Marksman. As for the filth though, I opt to stylishly blast them with the malicious Railcannon. Some coin shots will take care of the soldier. Scratch that. I shoot the last one in the face. A full Nailgun clip and a magnet are enough to destroy this malicious face, like countless times before. Now, are you ready for easily the most insane room in this entire level? Here we get access to the dual wheel power-up. The first batch of enemies spawn, but we don't even need to look at who it is. We just toss a bunch of coins straight up and land a bunch of coin shots. The Nailgun's also way more reliable now. I use it to clear the horde of filth here and get rid of this Virtue early on. I quickly jump away to find a second Virtue and eliminate it with the Overheat before it can cause any issues. I use what's left of the Overheat charge to kill some of these strays, and purge the others with a charged revolver double shot. Finally, the 3 CERBERUSes. The main strategy to killing them is to unload all the Nailgun bullets I have into them as fast as possible. The first one is much of a problem, but the others are now enraged and attack faster. Once the Nailguns run out of ammo, I resort to coin shots again, greatly lowering the CERBERUS health. This Railcannon shot kills off the second CERBERUS and I'm one step away from victory. With one last double revolver shot, the final CERBERUS dies and the area is cleared. The first level of Greed has added a total of
23
deaths to the counter.
20
Of these were from that last room alone. Jesus. Fort 2 is a unique level due to the sand in Fort 2 hurts. It insta-kills us due to our 1 HP condition, though it also hurts enemies if they touch it. These 2 strays try to stop us? I slap through one of them and parry the other. We have a new mechanic upon us. Enemies that are covered in sand will no longer bleed, which prevents us from healing. Oh wait, we don't need to heal. Consider it an aesthetic change. Up ahead we have a malicious face and 2 soldiers. The face gets a charge shot and a railcannon in its face. It's finished off with the nailgun from the distance. This soldier flies to the air and gets air shot with a slab. The other dies in a boring manner. A virtue, a malicious face, and some more enemies spawn. The virtue gets taken out immediately by my railcannon. The force of the slap shot launches me off the platform and almost kills me due to the sand, but I recover and land a shotgun punch. And another. These last 2 soldiers die by slap shots. With a charge shot, a railcannon shot, and some nails, the malicious face succumbs to the sun. This malicious face receives a railcannon and some nails. This new enemy, the Stalker, does so too. All it does is explode on the other enemies and cover them in sand. 3 more of them spawn and the 2 Cerberus statues come to life. I didn't want any collateral damage, so I focused on the Stalkers first. 2 of them blow themselves up near the Cerberus though. I guess that's not much of a game changer. 3 shotgun punches combined with a railcannon shot and this one Cerberus is still standing. I line up a charge shot to hit both of them and shoot the front one once, making it crumble. The second one becomes enraged, but not even Hell's Fury can withstand some shotgun punches. The game presents us 2 paths in Stanley Parable fashion, so it doesn't matter which one we do first. We go for the Blue Skull path first, where we are granted a dual weapons buff. 2 malicious railcannon shots should take care of that crowd in the back. I go for some coin shots next and abuse the double coins to the maximum. The double nail guns are a devastating force, enough to take care of the virtue and this malicious face. These last 2 schisms die by double slap shots. The nearly spawned malicious face gets a taste of double charge shots, with a hint of nails. The virtue receives overheated nails instead, clearing this whole room. We grab the blue skull and make our way towards the front, where we place it down onto a blue pedestal. Using a jump pad to go to the other path, the red skull one, I land on the roof and slide from up there down onto the dual buff, triggering a target practice for my railcannons to spawn. The first one gets double charged with nails on top. I'm so focused on the second one that I fall off and almost die to the sand. I parkour, evade a virtuous beam, and finish off the last malicious face. I land 2 charge shots from the distance, which aren't enough, so I move in closer and land 2 slap shots and murder the virtue. For this next part, double coins. That's all that needs to be said, honestly. This singular street cleaner is sent to a different realm with 2 slap shots. These last 2 die by a slap shot and a railcannon shot. With all enemies dead, I go for the red skull, grab it, get this hidden dual buff, and make my way back, placing it down into the red pedestal. A siren emerges out of the ground and gives off a blaring alarm, signifying an incoming boss, the Sisyphean Insurrectionist. The Sisyphean Insurrectionist is quite a challenge, as a pairing window for all of its attacks and how exactly it attacks is special, compared to every other foe we have encountered so far. It's important that I learn the Insurrectionist's patterns, which takes a lot of time and effort, just like studying the Divine Comedy. And of course, I don't have the patience for either of them. This guy's giving me so much trouble, it is unbelievable. It swings its bolt around so much and jumps around all of itself. I just really could not get the pairing window down. Instead of spending even more time and dedication towards that, I opted to just move around a lot and pray I can kill it all fast enough before I make a minor slip up. Both nail guns really shone here. They were an amazing help against this deadly foe. Another overheat and a close call, I back off and deliver a railcannon shot. A charge shot and some slap shots do quite some damage, but not enough. Swapping to the nail gun once again, I prayed that it contemplate its HP report can finish me off. 40 was quite hard but very fun to complete. Fuck that Sisyphean Insurrectionist though. It has cost me a total of
54
deaths. Good god. Darkness. Pitch black. This level's main gimmick is using this torch to light up fires and brighten the area like this. Instead of using the torch like a normal person, I use a shotgun punch to light up a blue flame at the end of the hallway. I head back to the right doorway, where I immediately shotgun punch the second blue flame at the end of the room. This spawned several filths and a couple of strays, which are eliminated with shotgun punches once more. Then I switch to the Marksman to land a few coin shots before switching to shotgun punches again. Anyway, I finally take care of the strays and filths with my revolver. This last filth gets special treatment. Finally, I move towards the left hallway. Instead of taking the normal route, I'll skip straight to the torch room instead with a slam jump. I shotgun punch this light open an exit and approach the last blue flame, where a few more enemies spawn. With all blue flames lit up, it's time to enter this level's first major obstacle of the run, this chaotic room. In this arena, each torch summons enemies and you need to light all 4 to progress. I wait in this torch to quickly dispatch malicious face before it can fight back and to get the secret dual wield power up, which gives me a bit of an edge. I immediately light the second torch, spawning more enemies. I use all of my remaining coin shots on these schisms while the nail gun and overheat easily wipe out the rest. The The third torch is harder. After barely dodging a Cerberus attack, I instantly kill it with a double Railcannon. The enraged Cerberus tries to fight back, but hectic movement and Revolver spam carry me to victory. My dual wheel runs out just in time for the fourth torch. This street cleaner instantly dies to a charged shot. Rather than taking care of the other ones immediately, I decide to circle around to Railcannon this annoying virtue. A stylish coin shot is enough to blow up the second street cleaner, and the third one dies just as easily. Now that we finally cleared this room, we can get back on track. Going down this hallway, we have to light up a streak of torches. I struggle a bit with this first one somehow. To change up the pace, I shotgun punch the third one. Finally, this last torch spawns more enemies. A few sick coin shots are enough to blow up these street cleaners and the drones. Wait, there's one left. Just a sec. There we go. Once the enemies spawn, I deal with the malicious phase as quickly and efficiently as I can. This virtue gets a load of nailgun bullets and eventually dies. I try to dispatch the Cerberus with the Overheat as well, but I completely missed the second barrage, forcing me to switch to shotgun punches instead. With that room cleared, there's only one area left before the level's over. I ascend these stairs and set the torch from the beginning of the level, down to this small pedestal. And green lights start brightening up the whole room, revealing a gigantic arena. If this doesn't get you to buy the game, I don't know what will anymore. I snap the first one with the Railcannon and begin a mad dash to dodge the endless rain of projectiles. I fire some coin shots to whittle down the enemies as I make my way to the second virtue. But first, I get rid of this malicious phase with the nailgun. It's just too dangerous. The platform's gotten unsafe, so I tactically retreat and circle back around in the opposite direction while the virtue's light beam takes care of a couple of enemies for me. This malicious phase in the distance is covered in sand, but we don't care. I shoot it with the Railcannon and finish it off with a slap shot. Now that we finally reached a certain virtue, we can load with nailgun bullets and advance the enemy waves. This third virtue spawns right nearby, and since my other weapons aren't charged yet, I opt to shotgun punch it. I squeeze right through 5 projectiles without getting hit and perform an equally miraculous dodge after killing the virtue. After quickly dispatching the last virtue from the other side of the room, all that's left is the horde of regular enemies. I kill the ones cast away from the group with some coin shots. These shotgun punches blast most of these soldiers into the pits of hell, or to the skies of heaven for a few of these schisms. I try to be stylish here and end the level on some good coin shots, but somehow I miss the first and second ones completely. To make up for it, I get rid of these mooks with a revolver and finish off the very last soldier with my Railcannon. What an amazing level. With it fully cleared, it has cost me a total of 9 deaths, which is not that much. Nice. Oh wait, is that an A in kills? Did I miss someone? Guess you'll have to find out for yourself though, because I won't show it this time. That's 9 deaths instead of 9. Well then, here we are, 4-4, the climax of the Greed Layer. There's no real combat or anything else to start us off. Instead, we're gonna navigate through a ruined pyramid. I wonder what awaits us at the end of this all. You know, the leitmotif in the background is kinda familiar. Claire de SOLEIL, that is a very familiar name, isn't it? He's back, and this time, he absolutely fucking wrecks my shit. The 2-second fight is a lot harder than his first encounter. You might think, you've only fought him once, this shouldn't be a problem. Let me show you how much harder he's become. V2 retains all of his attacks from a previous fight, but also gains a new attack for this encore. V2 can now throw 3 coins in the air and shoot them, which makes them ricochet onto you. You heard me, he can fucking throw and shoot coins now. To make matters worse, he can shoot your own coins. If you do not shoot your own coins fast enough, he will do you a favor and shoot them instead. It gets even worse. V2 now has a nailgun. He has both the normal nailgun and the Overheat variant. These 4 new attacks make him so much goddamn harder. If I get hit by a single nail, a single pixel of it betrays my hitbox, I die instantly. V2 is the only boss from this entire challenge that took me more than a day. I had to take a break at some point because my wrist was hurting too much from constantly trying to kill this guy in one go. My last attempt of day 1 was a conceit of mine. I dash up at V2, but don't get close enough for me to hit the trigger for the battle. My malicious Railcannon does no damage, so I walk away in shame and hit. I dash jump towards V2 and hit him with a Railcannon shot, followed by a shotgun punch. In comparison to day 1, I actually use my coins consistently on day 2. I originally conserved them for whenever his coins attack happened, however, I could shoot 3 coins to keep one as a backup. I try to shotgun punch, but he decides to throw a bunch of coins again, which makes me panic. I become nervous as I'm close to beating him. I switch back to the shotgun and pray I can kill him before he kills me. I fail, but dodge his barrage of coins and finish him off with a shotgun punch. There's a second phase, but thank god it is far easier and it's way goddamn cooler. It's the coolest scene from this entire game so far. Instead of letting him escape, we chase after him by sliding down the pyramid and exchanging projectiles. There's no real strategy to this. Dodge his attacks while shooting at him. And feeling cool for this whole scenery. And with that, V2 has been slain. Holy fucking shit. Just like last time, we get another arm. This one's really cool. I don't need to explain this hookshot, since this level itself does a fantastic job at doing such. As a last hurdle, the game throws 2 enemies and a malicious face at us. The pure pain I experienced from just fighting V2 has hardened me and makes this very easy. With them out of the way, we are done with this challenge of a climax. V2 has killed me a total amount of
256
times, both day 1 and day 2 combined. It's insane. With all main levels out of the way, you know what time it finally is. It's been waiting at the horizon, charging me from a far distance. You're right. It is finally time for the secret level of the Greed Layer. Fuck this level, holy shit. Congratulations to Akita for making one of the best, most agonizing secret levels I have ever played in any video game ever. If you couldn't tell, this is a Crash Bandicoot based level. The 1 HP thing? Yeah, no, it doesn't matter at all here. You die in 1 hit even doing a normal playthrough. Except if you have a blue skull. I'll just speed up the entire footage just so you can see what agony I had to go through. And of course oh my fucking god. Which crates? Which crate did I miss? Are you serious? You can't be fucking serious. Oh my. This level has killed me a total of
26
times. Good fucking god. Adding up all of that with all the other greed levels, we are sitting at
378
deaths. Good god, okay. Adding all of that up to all the previous deaths makes
848
deaths. With everything done, I believe you know what time it is. The conclusion to our journey, having perfected every level off screen, without 1 HP or else I would have gone insane. It is finally about time we descend into the climax of this whole challenge. There's not much to this, a torch on a pedestal resting in front of a spiral staircase. As we descend, I'd like to remind everyone about everything that we've accomplished to get to this point. There have been a total of
848
amount of deaths throughout the entire run. All those deaths are the accumulation towards this level. This, in quotation marks, reward, if you can call it that. A few shots will take care of them. They do not... I miss all of these coins. Holy shit, huh? Anyway, we find a blue pedestal. Play. I just shoot it to... Oh, come on.
I dive underwater to corner.
Until Wiki describes this boss perfectly. Steps. Rapid breathing. There isn't much time left. Hit my charge shot and unleash it to the right. King minus. Gabriel tests your move. I use it to clear the horde of filth here and get a elite level. Due to... At the first with the Railcannon begin a mad battle in day 2. I originally conserved it for whenever... Which crate did I miss? Are you serious? Are you... Here we are. We'll place the torch onto this pedestal, which opens the gate ahead of us, and oh man. The Flesh Prison. The Flesh Prison is the most chaotic boss in the entire game. It is a true test of your movement and reflexes. The boss will bombard you with all sorts of attacks. You can almost call this a bullet hell fight. Despite not having too many attacks, they are very deadly, especially for a 1 HP challenge. The Flesh Prison will always summon a total of 8 floating eyes and 2 tiny malicious faces. The floating eyes will always shoot lasers, meanwhile the tiny malicious faces shoot an explosive beam akin to their normal counterpart. It is important that you take these out before you start damaging the Flesh Prison itself. If you deal enough damage to the Flesh Prison, or even too fast, it'll immediately try to heal by absorbing any remaining minions it has spawned. You do not want even a single one of them to be absorbed. A black hole will be occasionally summoned. A black hole just like in the Corporal King Minus fight. Despite its slow speed, it is still very dangerous if unaccounted for during panicking movement. Similar to Virtues, the Flesh Prison can summon gigantic beams of lighting. These are easy to avoid. However, the boss will try to predict your movement and will place any following beam somewhere near your projected movement. It is of utmost necessity to move unpredictably whilst also avoiding any lasers or black holes. It'll often release a volley of homing sign hell-orbs in a circle pattern. Those aren't hard to dodge but can really mess you up if you get too nervous. It has a lot less attacks or mechanics compared to other bosses, as you can see, but it is so goddamn deadly. There's nothing to parry here, which should make this a lot easier, but I wasn't used to frantic movement while also constantly aiming at this level. This may be the only instance, though I'd always start the Flash Prison fight by shooting a screwdriver into it, followed by constant shotgun swapping until it spawned its minions. Once they've been spawned, I'd move along the arena and toss coins into the air and will try to take out all of them split shots. If any remained, they'd be shot with the Marksman pistol. With the minions gone, it was time to pump it full of both the Nailgun and its Overheat variant, combined with a second screwdriver. The stun projectiles can be avoided by just staying close to the Flash Prison. Once it spawned its minions again, I toss coins into the air again and do split shots. Just like before, take the rest out with a normal shot. The third and final screwdriver shot was a major help in defeating the boss. All I had to do was pump it full of nails again. With it almost dead, my entire arsenal exhausted and me becoming very nervous, I switched to my reliable shotgun punches and marksman shots. During its dying animation, I had to keep on moving or else any of its projectiles or minions could still kill me.
Free at last. Oh, Gabriel, now dawns thy reckoning, and thy gore shall glisten before the temples of man. Creature of steel, my gratitude upon thee for my people, for the crimes thy kind have committed against humanity are not forgotten, and my punishment is death.
If you thought the Flash Prison was the biggest challenge of them all, boy are you oh so wrong. If the Flash Prison was a test of movement and reflexes, Minus Prime is a test of your parrying and dodging skills. A YouTube comment perfectly summarized what this fight is. You're basically facing a fighting game player in a first-person shooter. First, we'll cover Minus Prime's attacks. Each attack of his is cued in by a voice on of his. Minus Prime can perform multiple attacks before his stamina is empty, granting a short window of no attacks. 4.
Judgment!
Minus Prime leaps towards V1 and releases an explosive punch that can be dodged and parried. If Minus Prime says
Die!
he will leap into the air and aim for V1's location, before slamming towards it and creating an explosion combined with a slam shockwave. If V1 is too close to Minus Prime, instead of using his
Die!
attack, he will use his
Crush!
where he immediately goes down and creates an explosion.
Prepare thyself!
Is a free hit combo, where he will release a certain projectile after his last attack, which can be parried and launched back against Minus Prime, dealing massive damage. To act onto the Serpent, Minus Prime can launch a certain projectile at any point of time. It'll be indicated by an orange glow before it gets released. 4.
My end is now!
Minus Prime unleashes a 4-hit combo. The last punch can be parried. Once Minus Prime reaches half health, he has the balls to shout at us, making him enrage. Whilst enraged, Minus Prime attacks a lot faster. His
Judgment!
and
My end is now!
attacks can no longer be parried. He quite literally uses all of his power, compared to the first phase. Do you see how many of his attacks can be parried? Have you noticed how I almost never parried throughout the entire run? This guy meant trouble, big trouble. I had a shit ton of fun getting my ass kicked by this guy. This will be the last time the game told me to get good. So finally, after an hour and a half, to start parrying. Let's cut to the point, what everyone wants to see. The one successful attempt at killing Minus Prime. The culmination of my entire experience and practicing. Dashing to the arena to deliver a Railcannon shot was both stylish and important. I'd walk around Minus Prime while using the Nailgun. Stepping back a bit, I'd parry a Serpent. Emptying the Overheat was important, especially if parrying his die and his now attack. With his second phase enabled, I started getting nervous. I could no longer parry, I could only move, evade, and parry a Serpent. It was time for the good old reliable, the Slab Marksman. I missed the 4th coin to parry a Serpent, followed by a Railcannon shot. I am this close to victory. The last blow to Minus Prime will be his very own projectile, a Serpent.
Forgive me, my children, for I have failed to bring you salvation from this cold dark world.
I toss a coin in honor of Minus Prime. The Flash Prison and Minus Prime have been annihilated. If you want to read terminal lore, feel free to pause the video and read what's on the terminal screen. With an hour and a half, the Flash Prison and Minus Prime have killed me a total amount of
369
times. We are done with all layers and all levels that exist within the game as of right now. If you add up P1's deaths, the end result for how many deaths it took for us to beat the game is
1217.
that is a very huge number, goddamn. With that, I believe we can finally answer the question of the title. Can you beat Ultrakill without getting hit?
Yes, you could. Theoretically.
It would require an insane amount of skill and focus in order to beat the game hitless without ever restarting. I don't have that sort of commitment. I would only go insane if I truly did restart the entire run every time I died. This is the second closest thing to it. Shoutouts to all of these people for helping me with the video. It has been a work in progress for the past 1.5 months, the longest time I've ever spent on a single video. Hundreds of hours went into this project. I never could have done something like that without the support of my friends and everyone else who contributed towards this. So I want to express my gratitude towards everyone that has helped me to get this far. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. I wanted to make this video as a homage towards Ultrakill. It is one of the best movement shooter games I've ever played, and I felt like I wanted to make something to honor it. This video, I guess, is my tribute towards that. I hope everyone that has watched up until this point has enjoyed the video. It may not be perfect, but I had a ton of fun working on it. Maybe I'll make some update videos once the new layers come out. But until then, I'll see you either on my Discord server or until the next video. Goodbye.